What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Comically Boston. Today's episode 112. We're going to be talking about my predictions for the Marvels movie. I'm going to see it in just a couple hours, so I'm getting excited. I'm getting ready. I got my Kamala Khan Miss Marvel shirt on, and that's what I'm really most excited for, just to see Iman Vellani up on the big screen instead of just a Disney Plus show. I just think that's going to be cool, and I think she's one of us. She's a Marvel nerd. She's probably a bigger Marvel nerd than I am, and I just think that's cool that one of us has infiltrated Marvel and we're getting a chance to shine. So I hope she does a great job. I hope the movie's great. I have not really huge expectations for it, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, we have some news, and there's a lot going on this weekend. We also have a Loki season finale coming up later tonight, and then tomorrow stuff comes out, so we'll talk about it. But recently, there's been rumors and news that has come out about Grand Theft Auto 6. I remember 10 years ago when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. I was in line up at a mall in New Hampshire and making sure that I got it first night. I had to bring my mom because it was a rated M game. It was terrible. I was like 14 years old. And I'm sitting there like, it's been 10 years since this thing's come out, and now there might be a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out soon, like real soon. So I'm hyped. I think that's going to be crazy. The map's probably going to be insane. The story will probably be insane. I've also been playing Modern Warfare 3 recently. The campaign was pretty good. I thought Modern Warfare 2's campaign, the remake, the original, when I grew up playing that game was unbelievable. And I loved playing that with my buddies on Xbox 360. So all these years later, they're kind of remaking it and like inspired by the first game, but like kind of doing a new take and their own thing. But Makarov's back, and it's a devastating thing. I won't spoil it right now, but play the story for yourself and get to the end, and then you'll go, one of my favorite characters. I can't believe this. You know, they make a big decision to not have a character stick around, if you know what I'm saying. So, and then there's a post-credit scene that's pretty badass. There's nothing to do after it, but like, it's still pretty badass. But I liked how the story was different. Like, it was more modern. It had much more like open map where you're going around finding guns. It felt like a Warzone mixed with campaign, which I kind of liked. But I also like that original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign from way back in the day was so perfect, so good, and I loved the maps. And this might be the last Call of Duty I ever get, because I think are bringing back High Rise, Terminal, all those maps that I loved. Rust, Afghan, the one with the quarry, the one with all the stones. There was a ton of great maps, and I think they're bringing a bunch of those into this new game. At least I hope they are. I thought I heard that correctly. So the game comes out tomorrow, so I'm going to have to check that out. But also coming out tomorrow, Invincible Season 2, Episode 2. The first episode was pretty wild, so like, I can only imagine what the rest of the season is going to be like, but that's just getting started. Finishing tomorrow, Powers, Book 4 Force, Tommy's show, has its season finale tomorrow, and that second season of that show has been super good. You know, I love the Power shows. They're super gangster, and they have pretty great writers, and the storyline's just wild, and crazy shit happens. And I highly recommend that. Go check that out. Also coming out tomorrow is Michael Fassbender in The Killer. I think that's coming out on Netflix tomorrow. And that movie just looks really intriguing to me. Michael Fassbender's an assassin. Like, anything with him, and he hasn't done any roles in a long time. So this is his first movie, I think, in 5 years, I heard. So I'm excited for that. That's all tomorrow. Some more news that came out, some Marvel news. The future of Marvel is looking pretty good. January. So we haven't really had any confirmations, anything we've really known about the Marvel Cinematic Universe until just recently. We got a trailer for Echo, and I did a reaction to that. Go check that out on the channel. January 10th, 2024, Echo will be coming all at once, 5 episodes streaming all at once. I'm excited for that. That looks really good. It's going to be TVMA. Then we have a rated R project coming in 2024 with Deadpool coming in May. I don't know if it will be May or if it will end up being July, but I think it's going to be summer because the SAG-AFTRA strike is over now. Congrats to the SAG. They're finally over. The strike's done. People are going to start getting back to work, so we're starting to start getting more and more news. We also got confirmed that What If Season 2 will premiere on Disney Plus this holiday season because I believe there's a episode about Happy Saves Christmas or something like that. So, you know, I love when Marvel does holiday stuff, so maybe this is a holiday-themed What If season. Maybe it's just one episode. Either way, I'd be happy with it. It's been a long time since What If Season 1, so I thought I just recently rewatched What If Season 1. There's a video on the channel, and I thought it was really good. So go check out that video and tell me what you thought of What If Season 1, because I thought that show was pretty freaking awesome. If it was in live action, it would be fucking the best show on earth for me. But we also think Marvel Zombies animated show, much like What If Zombies episode that we had from Season 1 of What If, there's going to be a whole project dedicated to just that called What If Zombies that's supposed to be coming in 2024. And we also know that Blade is officially going to be an R-rated movie. The director confirmed it the other day, and that got pushed to 2025 for Valentine's Day 2025. So looking forward to that as well. But today we have the Marvels coming out and Loki season finale, and I'm super hyped for it. We did get Mobius on a jet ski, but he wasn't in the water, so it's close, but it's not good enough. So I'm still hoping and holding out hope that we get Mobius on an actual jet ski, but I think that was kind of a joke, but also kind of fan service, and kind of the best they could do, because, you know, how are they going to go film on a jet ski out in the water, like, unless they just have him pull up on one. But that would be good enough, just pulling up on the ocean, you're just getting off on a dock. But we want to see our boy on some water, ripping a jet ski, having a blast. But I think they were just confirming that Mobius is indeed a salesman, and that's why he's obsessed with jet skis, not necessarily an avid user of them. That's why he wants to sell them to Loki. So maybe we won't see him ride a jet ski ever again. But hey, I can hope. But Loki Season 2 has been friggin' awesome, so I'm so excited for the finale coming out tonight. But stay tuned for Saturday morning. I'm going to come out with a video talking all about that, don't worry. But this video is really all about the Marvels, and what do I think is going to happen over there. From a trailer, we know that Zawe Ashton's character, speaking of Loki Season 2, Zawe Ashton is married to Tom Hiddleston, so we finally have a married couple in the MCU. Both members of the couple are different characters in different projects, having a project in the MCU come out on the same day, which is kind of cool. So we have Monica Rambeau, Carol Danvers, and Kamala Khan, Brie Larson, Tiana Paris, and Iman Vellani starring in the Marvels with Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, and Zawe Ashton as Dar-Ben, I believe is her name. I've heard a little bit of spoily reviews, but most of the reviews I've seen are people think it's okay, it's fun. So I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be a good movie. I think I'm going to cut this video in half, and then I'm going to come back after I've seen the movie and talk spoilers, but I'll warn you before I talk spoilers about the movie. But overall, I think it's going to be good. I'm not somebody that hates Brie Larson. I'm curious to see these girls all together. Nia DaCosta, I'm curious to see as a director in the MCU. She's also a big Marvel nerd, so like, I just love the energy around the film and the cast and everybody together. And I love that a lot of the friggin' incel man out there are all hating on the movie, and I'm like, you guys are such losers. I think it's cool that there's 3 women in this movie, and there's how entangled cosmically, and they keep switching places. I'm curious to see what the story is. You know, maybe I'll be wrong afterwards and I won't love it, but I'm optimistic right now, and I'm going in hoping to like it. But overall, like I said before, Iman Vellani I really like as Kamala Khan, and Tiana Paris I recently just saw in They Clone Tyrone. That movie's really good. You guys should go check that out on Netflix. But Tiana Paris is great in that, and she's great as Monica Rambeau in WandaVision, which I also rewatched recently. Video up on the channel now. Go check that out. But Tiana Paris is great, so I'm excited to see Monica Rambeau again, but now fully superpowered out. I was a fan of the Miss Marvel show, so seeing Kamala Khan back, and then, I don't know, I hope they don't nerf Brie Larson again, because she hasn't really had a chance to do much. She just kind of comes in, destroys stuff because she's super powerful, and then just kind of leaves. You know, I want to dive in more to her as a character. But like I said, I'm still hip to Brie Larson, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I also watched Thor: Love and Thunder recently, so stay tuned for a review coming to the channel soon on that. And I'm almost done with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I'm rewatching that. So there'll be another review and a rewatch update talking about that on the channel. And then next up on my list is Wakanda Forever. But I'm gonna go see the Marvels movie. Go check it out for yourselves. And we'll be talking spoilers next, and I'll see you guys then, okay? But spoilers, don't wait until, well, unless you want to be spoiled and you want to hear what's next. But spoilers for the Marvels coming up next, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh, right, let's get right into it, guys. The Marvels, full spoilers right now. First, we're going to do a little rundown, a little breakdown, and then we're going to talk about what we thought, and then we're going to score it out of 5 stars or 10 stars, whatever you score it on. But leave your score in the comment section below if you've seen the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, why are you still here? Get out of here, go watch it, come back and tell us what you thought. So, first, we start out the movie with a kind of like a previously on, and, you know, we catch up with where Captain Marvel's been. We catch up with Monica in WandaVision. We catch up with Kamala from Miss Marvel. And it's not exactly a previously on like a TV show, but it does the same thing. It catches us up. And then Nick Fury in this movie is hilarious. Every line from Nick Fury is so funny. I really like Samuel Jackson in this movie. He doesn't have a huge role, but the scenes where he's on screen, he's delivering lines like the old Nick Fury I know, and not that bullshit one from Secret Invasion. So, Kamala's like, they start teleporting around because Monica and Carol were touching the same thing from different parts, from different areas, but they were all going towards the same thing, and Kamala's bangle lights up. All of a sudden they start switching places, the 3 of them, which is a decent idea, and I really actually like it. It was fun, it was funny, it was interesting. Every time that they would use their powers, you're like, oh shit, are they going to teleport right now, and then somebody else is going to be in their place? And then they had to learn to use the power together and practice it, you know, okay, use your power, we're going to transport, and then use your power, because if one's pointing this way and one's pointing that way and you transport, now you're shooting that way, you know what I mean? So you have to be able to transport and then know to switch your arms so that you're aiming at the correct target and not just shooting the wall. You know what I mean? So it was super interesting, man. And, you know, we get to see the only things that really carry over per se from Secret Invasion are the fact that Nick Fury's on the Saber base and the fact that we get to see Emperor Droge. We never saw or heard anything other than his name in the Secret Invasion show, and yet he was in this movie. So like, we saw more Skrulls. They had to save the Skrulls, and they could only save the people. Like, Kamala was heartbreaking. She's like, but how can we leave these people? And Carol's like, we need to save who we can, you know? Like, we can't just die. All of us die because we wanted to try and save everyone. You have to save the people you can. And then, you know, they're mad because she's the Annihilator, and she's not helping as much as she should have, and they had a planet and they were trying to be a peaceful treaty, and because Carol showed up, it turned into just all-out battle. It was bad. But Tessa Thompson shows up, which is cool. Nice little Valkyrie cameo, and she shows up more political. She's in like a little suit, but she's friends with Captain Marvel. She calls her Mav. Listen, Mav, take it from me. Sometimes you need to be on a team, even if you don't want to be on it. You know, like, which is some good advice from Tessa, and she's like, hopefully the next time we see each other will be a more positive note, you know, because Dar-Ben's kicking ass out here, and they destroyed where the Emperor Dro's colony was, so now he's a refugee again, but it looks like they're staying with the Asgardians, so that's interesting. Maybe the next time we see Asgard, there'll be some Skrulls over there. But since Secret Invasion, now all the Skrulls are enemies of the United States or the world, who knows. But we try to forget about that show. But I liked this movie, but this movie I liked, and yet it has nothing to do with Secret Invasion, so it makes me hate Secret Invasion even more. Like, drives me nuts, man. Like, why does Secret Invasion have to be so stupid, and they couldn't connect to anything at all? At all. Like, they made sure that Fury could be back in space, but what happened to Fury's wife? She's not in the movie, so all that shit's just bullshit for no reason. But Dar-Ben is trying to save Hala, and Hala is falling apart because the Annihilator, Carol Danvers, came and destroyed the intelligence that they had, and that just made everything go wrong. They were drought, the sun stopped burning, everything was bad for them. So Zawe Ashton's character is going around with trying to open jump points and bring materials that she needs, like water, sun, all these things, to the breathable air. She's trying to bring all that stuff back to Hala, and she's just trying to save her homeworld. But she's also attacking Carol because Carol destroyed her homeworld. So she's trying to destroy anything that Carol called home. So, things like Earth, this other planet, Aldana, like Aldani, whatever they call it. A very interesting planet we go to in this movie, but still funny. But overall, man, I really like this movie. I like that Carol's like, every time I use this hand, I transfer places. So she starts using her left hand. And, but then it still transfers powers. But, just her relationship, Captain Marvel with Miss Marvel. And just, I love Iman Vellani. She's so cute in this movie. The family, Kamala's family is so funny. I love her family. Goose the Flurkin is a female Flurkin. Or maybe he's a male. I don't want to gender him. But either way, whichever gender Goose the Flurkin is, he's pregnant. Or she's pregnant. And we get a bunch of Flurkin babies. This is what we're talking about there. But the three of these ladies' chemistry together, and how their powers are kind of bouncing off each other, and how they keep transferring places, it's a super cool idea. It's interesting. It kept my attention. It's a pretty good runtime. It's less than 2 hours, but it's over an hour and a half. So, like, you're in a good little gray area, great little window there for runtime. And I didn't think it was too long. I didn't think it was too short. I thought it was good. And there's one mid-credit scene. I didn't stay to even see if there was a post-credit scene because I heard there was only one. So, comment below, is there a post-credit scene? But as far as I know, the mid-credit scene is badass. But we'll talk that because that's a big spoiler. We'll talk that towards the end of this video. But Monica and Carol hadn't seen each other since Lieutenant Trouble, that whole shit from Captain Marvel, the first movie. And, Monica's now got powers and everything. So, like, we finally see the conversation between Auntie Carol and Lieutenant Trouble that we've been waiting to see. And it's, like, emotional. It's like, fuck. And then all of a sudden, they put scroll memory things on. And they have to, like, start remembering things, and and they're using that, so they're seeing each other's memories, but they're also, getting info. So, like, they look at the starboard that Kamala was seeing, but then Kamala and Monica see Carol's memories, and then Carol and Kamala see Monica's memories, and it's like, whoa, it's trippy, but it's easily followable. I wasn't feeling like I was struggling at all. But so just the three of them are all on her ship now, and then they're teaming up, and Kamala's like, we're the Marvels, and we're gonna find you a name, Professor Marvel. And she's like, Professor Marvel, and Monica's like, no, I'm good, I'm Captain Rambo, I'll take that, which was her mom's title, so it's like, oh, like, I was like, oh, my heart, my little chest. It's a sweet movie. It's fun. It's cute as fucking button. Oh, I love those three ladies together. I can't get enough of it. Like, I can't wait to watch this movie again. Not because it's the best movie ever, but just because I had a fun time watching it. It was just good. Like, There was, obviously the one Aladna part wasn't great, but we'll get to that one second. They established that the bands, the Kamala's wristband is called the quantum bands, and then I don't remember the name of what Carol says, but she calls the rod that Zoe Ashton's Dar-Ben's carrying around, which was the same thing that Ronan was carrying around, Ronan the Accuser, and and she calls it something, and then Kamala was like, really? I'd call it a Cosmorod, which is like exactly what I've always heard it called. And I was like, oh wait, what was that first thing she said? That, because it had to have been like a little meta joke for us nerds in the audience, but they use the memory thing, and then they realize they have to go to Aladna because Zoe Ashton is taking water. She needs water for Hala, and that's the next thing she needs. So Aladna has 96.63% water on their planet, and they're like, how does she know that? And that's because Carol is the princess of Aladna, and their language is speaking in music. So they all have, you have to sing to them to understand, and they have to sing to communicate. So it's like, it was this one interesting part. All of a sudden you're like, oh, it's a musical now? Okay. And then all of a sudden it stops, and she talks to the main dude, and she's like, hey, he's bilingual. So then she just randomly starts talking, and you're like, okay. That one little part, I was like, it was fun, but at the same time, I was like, this was pointless. Like, why did we come here just to establish that this is a community of people that sing? I mean, it was cool, I guess, but it was just, it felt very pointless. Like, why'd we do this? Then we cut back to space, and Fury's on the Saber spaceship with Kamala's family, and they're running around looking at shit, and there's like these pink eggs keep popping up all over the place, and they're like, what are these things? Do we know? But they're all Flurkin babies. So then Zoe Ashton's character opens up another jump point, and it starts taking our sun from Earth. So she's trying to get our sun's energy for her son on Hala. Monica's like, hey, you can just restart the sun yourself. You're made out of energy. Like, you have enough power to do it. She's like, I've never done anything like that. And she goes, over the last 4 days, I've done a lot of things I've never done. I think we can try and do it, like, and Monica's like, well, or Carol's like, well, she's got at least a point. So she wants her son, and then they have to go to all the escape pods, and all the escape pods aren't working. Only a few of them are. So they can't possibly fit all the humans, but they could fit a family of cats. So the cats start eating the entire crew of Saber so that they can fill the cats all into one pod, and then go down to Earth, and then get out of the pods, and then the cat starts throwing up every human again. So you're like, ugh. And apparently they're fine in there, but the big people get sucked into these little cats. Like, I don't understand, like, how they're not 1 crushed, 2 dead, 3 covered in saliva. Like, ew. Like, I couldn't imagine getting eaten by a Flurkin and then randomly just getting thrown up by them, and now I'm alive again. I'm like, I'm here. What happened? Oh boy. Like, but so they get ejected out, and they get Nick Fury and Kamala's family kind of get stuck, getting pulled towards the jump point, and they start, spinning around and shit. And Fury turns around to Kamala's brother and goes, are you praying? And he kind of stops and goes, don't stop, we need all the help we can get. And he just keeps going, and he's like, yeah, amen, amen. Like, Nick Fury doesn't even know what language he's speaking, what God he's praying to, but he's like, hey, we need all the help we can get. Keep that shit going. Yeah, amen, amen. I'm with you, brother. I was dying at Nick Fury in this movie. He's so funny. So then they use Kamala with both bangles, because Zoe Ashton just kind of dusts into nothing, but then starts to cause an incursion from all the power that she had, like, from the bands. So then both bands end up back with Kamala. Then Kamala uses the power into Monica with the help of Carol. Carol's shooting powers into Monica too. Monica starts to glow like her Auntie Carol, and she starts to glow, flies out to the interference where the incursion's happening, and then she does this little scream, and then she and freaking bursts out the beams of light into the incursion, and she's like, I'm gonna close it, and Carol's like, alright, let go, it's closing, and she's like, no, I knew I would never be able, I wouldn't be able to stay, and so Monica knew what she was doing, but so now Monica's in another dimension, another universe, and the thing closes on her, and then Kamala Khan goes back to Earth, and Kamala Khan's sitting there, and she's like, kind of got tears in her eyes, and Nick Fury's like, what happened? And she's like, fills him in. We lost Monica. Where's Carol? Carol had to do a promise, so Carol restarts the sun on Hala, so it helps Hala out, so she's not just the Annihilator. She got their sun going again, so at least they got some heat. They did get some air and water, so Hala's starting to rebuild, per se. But then Kamala is back on our Earth with Carol Danvers, and she's now back at Maria Rambeau's place in Louisiana, and they're like, you know, higher, further, faster, baby, you know, and they're in this little plane, and she's like, I don't have the keys to this plane, and she's like, why, are you waiting for Monica to come back? Which is just cute, you know, now she's being Auntie Carol again, she cares, she's back, like, she's on Earth again. And then, right before the movie closes, we see Kamala's like, I got an idea. And she goes to another woman we've seen from the MCU. And who do we see walking in the door with a slice of pizza, throws some pizza to a dog? Who is it? With a bow and arrow? And a pizza dog? That's our girl Kate Bishop, friggin' Haley Steinfeld from Hawkeye. I'm so excited. So now Kamala's building a team. What team? Probably the Young Avengers. Kamala's recruiting Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop. So now we got Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, which she says she's 23. I don't know if that's her real age in real life, but a year younger than me. So you got Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan, and then what? The two boys that are Scarlet Witch's sons. Those are young guys. And then we got, who else? Isaiah Bradley. We got a Young Avengers team that we could form out there. Like, I'm into it. And then the credits roll, and then we see Monica's alive. Monica is next to Maria Rambeau, and Monica wakes up and goes, Mom, and she's like, who, what? You know, like, Maria's not getting it. And then all of a sudden, this big blue furry thing walks by, kind of sounding like Kelsey Grammer. I don't know if it is Kelsey Grammer. If it is, it's definitely not the same blue prosthetics that he used in X-Men, what? The Last Stand is, I think, when we saw him. But Beast is in the MCU in a different universe, but we get a Beast talking about Charles Xavier's X-Men. Well, Kamala is technically a mutant, so, and she's an X-Men in the comics, so technically Monica's the first X-Men we have in the MCU. Second mutant next to Namor. So now we got our third mutant with being Beast, talking about Charles Xavier, and then calls Maria binary. So binary, you know, like, and I hate that they put binary in the trailer shot. Like, that's the end credit scene. Why are you putting that in the trailer 3 days before the movie comes out? That's fucked up. But so binary, Maria Rambeau, Captain Rambeau, is now talking to Monica Rambeau, Captain Rambeau, Spectre, Photon, whatever she's gonna go by. But they're both superpowered. They're both about the same age, because now her mom's not gotten older and got cancer, and it's a different universe. So, like, now they're going to be fighting together, but with the X-Men and with Beast, and she's at some facility with Beast and shit. Like, that's awesome. And but her mom goes, who are you? And then she goes, oh, shit. You know, that's how it ends. Like, Monica just leans back and goes, oh, shit. What the, how am I going to explain this to her? But that is insane. So that is how the movie happens. That's, oh, I am hyped. I can't wait to see this movie again. Comment below, what do you think of this movie? Where are we gonna go next? Is the X-Men coming in the universe? I'm actually excited to see either the Young Avengers, the next time Kamala shows up, the next time Carol shows up, and the next time Monica shows up. I'm excited for it. The only thing that this movie didn't do was tie into Secret Invasion or anything before it, but it did a decent enough job syncing up with Miss Marvel and that shit. So we're moving on, new projects, but Loki season finale for season 2 coming out soon, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hit me up in my comment section below, hit the links in the description so you guys can see my other social medias, and hit that bell so you don't miss future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.